Okay, back to the dinim of Kiddush. So we learned you have to make Kiddush during the day also. It's called Kiddush Rabbah, but it's really, because again, the main meal is Shabbos day, so it doesn't look right. The Friday night you have Kiddush and Shabbos day not. Okay, the next thing here is a Kiddush has to be b'makom Seudah. The Gemara learns out, v'karasa la Shabbos eineg. You call Shabbos, meaning you call Shabbos, you sanctify Shabbos. That's where you have einig, where you have the enjoyment, the pleasure. So therefore the Gemara says you have to have Kiddush Makom Seudah. Now what does Kiddush Makom Seudah mean? You have to eat right away. You can't wait, you can't delay. Now what is the definition of a Makom Seudah? So obviously if you're by a meal, you're making Kiddush and then you go wash, so you have a meitzi. But what happens, like it's Shabbos and Shul, you have a Kiddush, or some place have Friday night a Kiddush, and then they go home to eat. So, Kiddush Makom Seudah, according to Chazal, means you need to eat a kazayas of cake. Kazayas of cake is 1 ounce of cake. Okay? So that is, even though the Seudah Shabbos you're supposed to eat kibetza, which is 2 ounces of bread, but for Kiddush Makom Seudah, for the Seudah, for Kiddush, it's enough if you eat a kazayas of cake. But the kazayas of cake has to be eaten right away. You can't just delay it. It has to be eaten right away. It said miyad. The question, what does that mean? But it should be eaten immediately. Or, there's another option. If you drink another revius of wine. Many people that say can't eat cake. They're allergic to wheat or whatever it is. So then, halachically, you could be Eitz Kiddush Makom Seudah if, in addition to Kiddush, you drink another full revius of wine. There's one opinion that the Rebbe brings down that says, if you make Kiddush and you drink the whole revius of wine, at Kiddush it's also. But most people, lechatchila, you need to drink, either eat a kazayas of cake, or and have another revius of wine. What?
What if there was this thing about that if you have to drink, you can drink if it's a harif, 1 second, or if it's
No, he said if you make Kiddush on whiskey, an ounce is enough.
Can you take another ounce of whiskey? It's also one
No.
day second.
What? What? Shivas Aminim is not Paris and not good. It has to be Mizainis. Now, 1 second. But what happens, this is very common, by the way, by Kiddushin. You know, you sit by Kiddush, somebody makes Kiddush, and you eat, okay, you take a little bite of cake, and then you eat the cholent, and whatever else they serve at the Kiddush. The problem is, if you don't eat a kazayas of cake, 1 ounce of cake, you're not Yetzer Kiddush. So 2 things. Number 1, you're not allowed to eat then. So what you're eating, the cholent, you're not allowed to eat the cholent because you didn't make Kiddush, you weren't Yetzer Kiddush yet, because you didn't have a kazayas of cake. Not only that, you have to go home and make Kiddush again, or in Shul make Kiddush again because you were not Yetzer Kiddush. Yeah, but then you can't eat. You can't eat the cholent. What?
If you don't want Friday night,
No, Friday night you can make, if no wine, you make it on challah. Challah. So, in other words, people should be careful, especially by the women. They just don't know. Shh. You have to make Kiddush. If you want to be Yetzer Kiddush, and Shul, you have to eat a kazayas of cake. If not, you're not Yetzer Kiddush. And you have to eat it right away. So let's say, I give you an example. You have crackers. You know those round crackers, yeah? Now, you can't have 2 of them is not 1 ounce. If you make a cheshbon, I once made a cheshbon. Let's say the box, you know, you have like 4 stacks of cookies, of crackers in that 1 box. Now let's say the box, let's say for argument's sake, is 2 pounds, which I doubt. It's probably less than 2 pounds. Huh?
1 pound.
Okay, 1 pound, that means you need to eat 1/16 of the box to be able to have 1 ounce of cookie, 1 ounce of mezainis. I might once have made a cheshbon, it was like 7 or 8 of them you have to eat. You have to remake it again. But you eat 3 crackers, it's not a kazayas.
So you take 3 with 3 pieces of herring?
No. No, you need to have mezainis. Now mezainis could be, according to most poskim, you can have, let's say, pasta. Now, even though pasta is also mezainis. Rice cake, not the way we hold, because we hold rice cakes as shahakal. If you hold like the Mishnah Brura that rice cakes are mezainis, then according to him, you could probably be yaitz, but not really, probably not. Also not, because you don't make a alamichi on rice cakes. Even those that make a mezainis on rice, no, that's a clear din in halacha. On others, you make a mezainis. No, I didn't say. I didn't tell you. I didn't say it. If it's not correct, I didn't say it. No, that's what I'm telling you. The exception to mezainis and alamichi is rice. The Mishnah says there's orders and dochen. One is rice and one is millet. Okay? So the question is, orders is mezainis and the after bracha b'rei nefashis. Dochen is not mezainis. So it's either a dam, a shak, whatever it may be. Okay? But so the Rebbe writes, because it's a suffix in halacha, what rice is it orez or dechen? Because some poskim hold rice is orez, because in Hebrew today orez is rice. But in halacha some poskim say no, that orez is not rice, dochen is rice. The base in that, you don't make a mezainis on rice. But even if you make a mezainis on rice, the after bracha is b'rei nefashis. So it's still not alamechia. So you're probably not yaitz kiddush. Probably not with a rice cake, even though they make mezainis on a rice cake. It's probably not yaitz. What?
What blessings do you make in the event that you have to substitute the challah for a wine on Friday? What additional blessings do you make?
No, you don't make. You made a guffin on the wine. You just make an after bracha on the wine.
No, let's say you don't have wine and you said instead of making it with wine, you can make it on challah.
Right.
So do you say two blachot on the challah, or you just?
No, we'll get there. We'll get there. If you make kiddush on challah, so you say, let's say Friday night. Yeah, you say Eshes Chayil. I mean Shalom Aleichem Eshes Chayil. Right before Yom Hashishi, you go wash, make al Tir Sidayim. Then you make Yom HaShishi. We say Savir Manam Barachat Hashem Akel Ha'meitzi Lach Min Haaretz, and the last bracha, and then you eat. And that's how you eat a Kiddush. So you have to wash, because you can't eat challah. So when do you wash? So you wash before Yom HaShishi. So because it's all part of Kiddush, it's not called the separation from the washing to the bracha. If there's no wine, it says you make a...
So there won't be any confusion.
There's confusion anyway.
Yeah. So because some people will say, well, this guy didn't wash and he just did kiddush and everything. You do the netilah on the table before.
No, you can do it by the sink.
But then they may get the impression that you don't need to do wash. You can just go and do hamotzi.
People are confused anyway. And if you're confused, there should be a bumper sticker. If you're confused, join Chabad, they will confuse you more.
You don't want to say that.
Why not?
What's the meaning of the joke?
Okay. Let's get back.
They wash before the kid. They eat something before the kid. They wash or something. It's a little different than.
We're learning now Shulchan Aruch about Kiddush. Let's stick to it.
No, about Kiddush.
Okay, but Kiddush has to be Makom Suda. So it's a big problem. People have to keep in mind, if you're sitting in a shul and you're listening to Kiddush, and there's a Kiddush, and you want to eat cholent or kugel or kolkats, whatever there is, you have to make sure to eat a kazayis cake right away, and otherwise you're going to have to make a Kiddush. What?
So you walk out so you don't do it?
Whatever. Okay, good idea. Now, what? It depends according to which sheet to say you're to the Shania.
What was it? What is it?
He wants to. Yeah, okay, we'll discuss it when we get to soon. We're getting to Shalosh Shudah. What?
Just to give him clarity, what you're saying is if you hear Kiddush in shul and you want this Kiddush to apply to you, you need a hand and a zonos afterwards.
Correct.
But you can go home and do Kiddush again. If you don't
That's not what they're talking. Yeah, that's a given. You can go and make Kiddush again. Even Friday night. Even.
Don't say kiddush again. If you don't eat anything, you're not yotzei.
Right, but we're talking if you do want to eat.
Oh, if you do want to eat.
If you don't come to shul to daven, you also don't have Kiddush in shul. I mean, like, what's going on here? So, Al Pi Din, you can make, if you heard Kiddush already, let's say even Friday night, you heard Kiddush, okay, there was a little party Friday night in Shul, so they had a Kiddush afterwards with some food. So you heard Kiddush, and then you want to go home and make Kiddush for your wife or family, you're allowed to. Havdalah is an argument in halacha. If a man already heard Havdalah, are they allowed to make Havdalah for the wife? So most poskim say yes. The Alter Rebbe says it's better to be machmenatu. But because there's a shaila if women have to hear Havdalah, so the halacha they have to, but the question if a man was yaitz already, if he's allowed to make it for the woman or not.
It's just the wife, not for another male?
For male is not a problem.
Is there something about if you heard part of the Havdalah bracha?
We're just starting Shabbos. You're already by the end of Shabbos.
But they have to say, the women have to say.
Okay. Cool.
They have to say that, no?
Okay. Next. Okay. Next is like this. There's a chiyuv in halacha to eat 3 meals on Shabbos. Okay. There's an interesting opinion in the Gemara of Rav Chitka, a famous opinion in the Gemara. He also have to eat 4 siddhis. And the poskim write, if you even talk about Rav Chitka, it's minus, it's apikursis, because the Gemara rules, not like Rav Chitka, and the halacha is only 3 meals on Shabbos you have to eat. This is based on a posik by the Mon. The Torah says, "Vayom Moshe ichlu hayom, ki Shabbos hayom laHashem, hayom lo yimtzeu basada." So that's the basis of a remez in the Torah that you need to eat 3 meals. You need to eat 1 Friday night and 2 Shabbos day. If somebody for whatever reason didn't eat Friday night, let's say the wife was having a baby, they were in the hospital all night, they just didn't get around to it, right? So now you come Shabbos morning, so then you have to make Kiddush a Friday night, Shabbos morning, because you didn't make Kiddush Friday night, and then you have to eat 3 meals on Shabbos. Now, concerning the 3rd meal, it says in halacha, you really don't have to wash. You don't have to wash. You could be yaitze with mezainis. Other poskim hold you could be yaitze with fruit. Shalosh shudas I'm talking about. The 3rd meal. There is a pikabala, you could even be yaitze with dvar Torah. Okay, but because by the 3rd hayom, it says hayom loy sitim tzeu basada. Today you're not going to find it, so it says hayom loy, so the 3rd hayom, this is a poskim write this, by the way, that there's more of a leniency. So that's why in many circles people are not so makbid on shalosh shudas. Because number 1, you could be yaitze with mezainis, you could be yaitze with fruit, you could be yaitze with different things. So that's technically somebody ate Friday night's meal, okay, and then they have cake before davening, like Chassidish people do. And then after shul, you have your meal. So there are poskim want to say your yaitze shalosh shudas because you had cake in the morning. But the other poskim hold you the 3rd meal should be after chatzis hayom, after mincha. According to certain opinions, it should be after mincha. But the bottom line is people should eat something. What?
So if we don't want to have the crackers, but the cholent is full of barley, why can't we say mezonah with barley?
Because barley is only mezainis when it's made into a flour, or it's stuck together like, oatmeal. I'll give you an example. Yeah? Oatmeal sticks together. So that's why it's mezainis. But barley and a cholent doesn't stick together. Either it melts, doesn't become a flour. So the barley and a cholent is rarely a mezainis.
It's not.
It's not the mezainis.
What do you make? What product do you make?
It depends. If the majority is adama, you make adama. If the majority is shahako, you make shahako. If you happen to like the meat, let's say the potatoes are the majority, potatoes, beans, whatever, is the majority, and you happen to like meat better, so before you make adama, you can take out a piece of meat and make a shahako. But once you made adama on the cholent, let's see, I'm talking about the cholent here in Shul, yeah? So it's basically, primarily it's adama, there's barley, beans, whatever, potatoes.
If it sticks together?
If it sticks together, there are many days that hold it to mezainis. That's the whole issue with, now I don't want to get into it now, but the Ezekiel bread, you know, the flourless bread,
Yeah.
it's called flourless bread. You know that? Look, you never saw the Ezekiel breads? Okay, so on it says it flourless bread. Now, the question is, there's a, what's it called? The group in charge of the food, no FDA, whatever, I don't know whatever it is. But they define flour one way and halacha defines flour another way. So initially when the Ezekiel bread came out and everybody heard it was flourless, everybody said, okay, make shahakal on the bread. If there's pieces, make adama. Then we found out from the Chav Kei, the way it's made is, in legal terms, it's not called flour, but because they stick together, so then halachically it's flour, and therefore it'd be a meitzim. So then, the cholent, the barley in the cholent in shul, okay, is not mezainis. The cholent is adama. If you want to take out a piece of meat to make shahakal on, then you could, but only before you make adama. Once you made adama on the cholent, you can't make a shahakal, be a brachal of hatal.
Just to be clear, and I know I'm repeating the same thing. If you hear the kiddush at the synagogue, and you take a little bit of the shot, and you take even a little bit of the zone, you're not good. So you go home and you do the...
Yeah, but then you weren't allowed to eat that, what you took.
Oh, no?
No, you didn't hear Kiddush. You weren't Yaitze Kiddush.
No, you hear the kiddush.
Yeah, but you're not Yaitze the Kiddush because you didn't.